Good Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday with a message from my book, Quori-Tyler Choose to Live By. And in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you'll be part of my conversation with dancer, model, and entrepreneur Quori-Tyler Bullock, sharing some bedtime beauty secrets you don't want to miss. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In international news, Ukraine reclaims more territory, reports capturing more POWs. Ukrainian troops expanded their territorial gains on Monday, pushing all the way to the country's northeastern border in places, and claimed to have captured a record number of Russian soldiers as part of the lightning advance that forced Moscow to make a hasty retreat. A spokesman for Ukrainian military intelligence said Russian troops were surrendering en masse as they understand the hopelessness of their situation. A Ukrainian presidential advisor said there were so many POWs that the country was running out of space to accommodate them. Blue and yellow Ukrainian flags fluttered over newly liberated towns across a wide swath of reclaimed land. The Ukrainian military said it had freed more than 20 settlements in 24 hours. In recent days, Kyiv's forces have captured territory at least twice the size of Greater London, according to the British Defense Ministry. After months of little discernible movement on the battlefield, the momentum has lifted Ukrainian morale and provoked rare public criticism of Russian President Vladimir Putin's war. In some areas of the front, our defenders reached the state border with the Russian Federation, said the governor of the northeastern region. The counteroffensive left the Kremlin struggling for a response to its largest military defeat in Ukraine since Russian forces pulled back from areas near Kyiv after a botched attempt to capture the capital early in the invasion. The Russian Defense Ministry acknowledged a setback in a map that showed its troops pressed back along a narrow patch of land on the border with Russia, a tacit admission of big Ukrainian gains. Reports of chaos abounded as Russian troops pulled out. Video taken by the Ukrainian military showed soldiers raising the Ukrainian flag over battle-damaged buildings. In one scene, a fighter wiped his boot on a Russian flag on the ground. Other videos showed Ukrainians inspecting the wreckage of Russian military vehicles, including tanks. In his evening address, Ukrainian President Zelensky said his forces have liberated more than 6,000 square kilometers, roughly 2,300 square miles, in the east and the south since the beginning of September. Now Ukrainian teams are disarming landmines and other unexploded weapons in the recaptured areas and searching for any remaining Russian troops, officials said. In more international news, Queen held in Scotland as a constant in all our lives. As Queen Elizabeth II's 4 children walked silently behind, a hearse carried her flag-draped coffin Monday along a crowd-lined street in the Scottish capital to a cathedral where a service of thanksgiving held the late monarch as a constant in all of our lives for over 70 years. 4 days after the 96-year-old Queen died in the Scottish Highlands, a military bagpiper played as her oak coffin, draped in the red and yellow royal standard of Scotland, was borne from the palace of Holyrood House in a solemn procession. King Charles III, dressed in army uniform, and his siblings, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward, walked behind as the hearse traveled to the cathedral, flanked by a burial party of the Royal Regiment of Scotland and a detachment of the Royal Company of Archers, the King's ceremonial bodyguard in Scotland. Inside the church, the coffin was placed on a wooden stand and topped with the Golden Crown of Scotland, encrusted with 22 gems and 20 precious stones, along with freshwater pearls from Scotland's rivers. In national news, Biden hopes ending cancer can be a national purpose for U.S. President Joe Biden on Monday urged Americans to come together for a new national purpose, his administration's effort to end cancer as we know it. At the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum, Biden channeled JFK's famed moonshot speech 60 years ago, likening the space race to his own effort and hoping it, too, would galvanize Americans. He established a national purpose that could rally the American people in a common cause, Biden said of Kennedy's space effort, adding that we can usher in the same unwillingness to postpone. Biden hopes to move the U.S. closer to the goal he set in February of cutting U.S. cancer fatalities by 50% over the next 25 years, and to dramatically improve the lives of caregivers and those suffering from cancer. Experts say the objective is attainable, but with adequate investments. And finally, in business news, Wall Street rallies further ahead of inflation report. Stocks climbed again Monday as Wall Street made its final moves ahead of high-stakes report that will hopefully show inflation hammered the economy less hard last month. The S&P 500 rose 43 points, or 1.1%, to 4,110 for its fourth straight gain. That's its longest winning streak since July, in the early days of the market's bounce back from its battering earlier in the year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 230 points, or 0.7%, to close at 32,381, and the Nasdaq Composite rallied 154 points, or 1.3%, to close at 12,266. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's on time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Tuesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. Do not give up. Look within. Find that strength you were endowed with from the beginning that was nursed in your mother's womb. Channel it. Move forward stronger, wiser, and more equipped for that which lies ahead. Now go make today amazing. Have a great Tuesday. Quori-Tyler Bullock is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Dancer, model, and entrepreneur Quori-Tyler Bullock rejoined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about some great bedtime beauty secrets for you. Here's a bit of our conversation.
You know, we all normally think about what our lives are like in the day. Tell us why creating a nighttime routine is so important.
Yeah, well, as someone with a very busy schedule, I know how difficult it can be to squeeze in moments of self-care and to just prioritize yourself. Sometimes I have to wake up super early in the morning and hit the road immediately to start checking off all of my to-dos. So I've just learned how helpful and efficient a relaxing nighttime routine is. Skincare is so important before bed because that's when the products are actually working double duty. So while we're sleeping, our skin enters in night mode when it replenishes and restores itself with cell regeneration. So by using the right products overnight, I just kind of set the foundation for healthier skin the following day.
Makes sense. And a lot of times, you know, and it's funny to hear you say that because I think a lot of times when we think about sleep, we do think about regeneration, but not necessarily thinking about our skin. So what's the first step then? What's the first step of your bedtime beauty regimen?
Yeah, exactly what you said is so right. So the first step of any great nighttime beauty routine should always start with skincare products that actually work. So I love Olay's Retinol 24 plus Peptide Night Moisturizer because it helps activate my skin's night mode. The purple jar works wonders while I'm catching up on my sleep, so I wake up to smoother, brighter skin in the morning. You know, sometimes I have to wake up at 3 a.m. to get camera ready for TV segments. Like today, I'm doing a bunch of different interviews. I did have to wake up at 3 a.m. this morning, but it's just nice having a product that I can rely on, and it's a great way to wake up and looking and feeling my best.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. Prepare to get on tomorrow with more news, message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today, and let's go make it a great one.